What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So I had to re-record part of this real quick because there was a little bit of confusion, or I was doing a test. There's been questions about if skirmisher on Wong. You can't see it here. Move over a little bit. But yeah, questions about if skirmisher on Wong will allow him to apply vulnerable on his retaliation hit. And I did not think so because, I thought it was the same mechanic as Colleen Wing. She attacks out of turn. It's not actually an assist, that kind of thing. I figured it was going to be the same kind of coding with Wong. Turns out I am correct. The first time I did record this, I thought I got a good hit in. There was a lot of evasion going on with the enemy team. And I thought I got a couple good hits in with Wong where that wasn't an issue. Turns out to not be the problem. And we see it going on here right now, where every time Wong is retaliating on his passive attack, it is not applying vulnerable, and this is with vulnerable on him as it is. So no, he will not be applying vulnerable with his with his passive ability, because it's not an attack, it's not an assist, it's not a counter, it's not a basic attack, it is a completely different thing. It's within his passive. So you will not be seeing that trigger vulnerable because it's its own attack. That was a question that quite a few people were asking about. Even had some people in my alliance thinking about throwing skirmisher on him, and I said, let's wait and see, because I don't think this will apply vulnerable. Turns out that is the case. I just wanted to get a quick footage in real quick, just kind of amend that, and we will go ahead and go on to the rest of the video now. We're going to talk about Wong, just kind of go over his stats a little bit, talk about like his best T4's, which ISO you should be running on him, and yeah, we're going to break that all down in today's video. So make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you guys do enjoy this video or find it helpful, and let's dive right into it. So, Wong. Wong is the protector of the team. He basically puts taunt on himself. There's a safeguard mechanic in place, and actually, that safeguard mechanic can be a little sketchy in that, basically, when he gets below taunt, or when he gets below 30% health, he's able to clear that taunt off. And that can cause an issue where there's safeguard with Morgana or Morgan on the team. And if you remember, Morgan, if you go look at her for the Darkhold team, she's able to put a safeguard on your team for 2 turns. And what happens there is that because safeguard is in place, you can no longer remove buffs. So because of that safeguard, and this is going to be part of a counter to this team in some way I can imagine. Apply safeguard for 2 turns to self and all Darkhold allies. So if you pick on Wong, you get him dropping below 30% health, and he still has taunt on him, he's not able to clear that off at that point. So it's one of those things too where this is going to be a potential counter where you can pretty much get forced taunts on the enemy team. And I wonder if that's going to be something that we see with Cersei and her ultimate, in that, yeah, to the enemy support with the lowest speed, and I believe that's gonna be Agatha for this team. I think Agatha's the only support on this team, or is Morgan a support? Blaster, protector, controller, yeah. So basically what you can do is use Cersei here, get taunt on Agatha, and then just hammer Agatha out of the way because you put taunt on her. She can't clear that. So basically, you can use that to place a taunt on Agatha, and then Safeguard's there. Safeguard can't remove the taunt. And yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. We'll see how this plays into future potential counters. But I just wanted to point that out because that was something that people were asking about as well in the Envoy server, and we got confirmation from Lori herself that, yeah, Safeguard plus the taunt combination, you will not be able to remove taunt once someone has it on them because of the safeguard. So yeah, if you can force taunt on certain characters on this team, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that counters things. But anyways, we got to go back to Wong here. Wong is a Mystic Protector, and he is a very powerful Mystic Protector. He gets a lot of bonus armor with his passive, and if you go and look at your stat table here, and actually if you look at this, Wong is number 2 in terms of armor. He does buff up the armor on the rest of Darkhold too, but that's a pretty sizable armor for him. His health, I believe, is... there we go. I went right past him. At 700,000 health when fully maxed up, that is going to get a sizable increase from Morgan Le Fay on the team as well. So if you had a maxed out Wong, it would not be surprising to see him push close to 1,000,000 health, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, very strong, very good health pool, very good armor. And then in terms of resist, he's also at number 11 on terms of resist. But also remember, we talked about this yesterday in our stat breakdown, is that he's also going to get a huge boost to resistance, a 100% or 50% increase to resistance because of Morgan on the team. So he is going to be, yeah, Darkhold gain 100% bonus resistance. So that resistance stat is going to pretty much double. So it's going to go from 16 up to 32, 33, somewhere in that range when fully maxed out. So his resistance is going to be very good. Lots of health, lots of armor. So he's a very strong protector on the Mystic team. And then he's getting the deflect through his kit. Yeah, I mean, Wong is just overall great tank. You know, but you don't really need to. I mean, he does have some significant piercing damage here. His Portal Barrage deals 300% damage. It's his special, the Dash Strike, that deals, when fully T4'd, it deals 600% piercing damage. So, you know, at the end of the day, and, you know, just for the fun of it, let's see what his damage is at. His damage is sitting here about 42k, about 22, tied with Icarus. So he is going to have some pretty solid damage there. He's going to do some really good piercing damage. You add in that crit chance and crit damage with Strange Heartless, and it looks like Raider's just going to be a really good option to run on Wong. This is what I was talking about earlier in my other video, was that, you know, Strange Heartless gives 50% crit chance and crit damage to all of your Darkhold characters. So that Raider ISO is going to be really powerful. And, you know, I've got Striker here on Scarlet Witch. We're going to play with that too. I'm just going to kind of experiment with some different characters with terms of Striker. I mean, Morgan's definitely going to be a Striker. I like the potential of Striker on Scarlet Witch. I also like the potential of Striker on Agatha. Wong gets to like a cleanse on his basic on that assist. If you go and look at that, clears one negative effect from self and all Darkhold allies on assists and counters. So, you know, again, this will not count for skirmisher stuff. So, like, his attack out of turn, when someone attacks him or a Darkhold ally and he attacks, yeah, it's not going to apply the vulnerable. And it should not do this either with a negative effect, clearing negative effect from himself and Darkhold allies. So, yeah, you know, just kind of keep that all in mind. So, with that, like, yeah, I'd have to say Raider is going to be a really good option for Wong, and I'll probably do Raider on him. In terms of his T4's, the best T4 for him right away is going to be this passive. 15% bonus armor for him, defense up for 2 turns to self and all Darkhold allies, and 30% bonus armor for him, or for Darkhold allies as well. Without this T4, there's no bonus armor on the Darkhold characters, so you will need that right away. This right here, this is a pretty good T4 on his ultimate. It transfers all negative effects from himself to the primary target. They do not get immunity. This is not like Infinity Watch where they get defense up and immunity plus safeguard. They don't get immunity on this team. They do just get defense up and that safeguard. So, you know, you will still be able to apply negative effects to them, and this allows him to take those negative effects from himself, throw it onto the enemy character, heals himself up for 15%, or gives himself 15% of his character's max health as barrier on that T4. Yeah, so it goes up from 15 to 30% at that point. So, like, even if he's lost all his barrier from someone else, now he gets barrier again from this. So that he is going to max out his barrier, and with Morgan, you get another 30% max barrier on Darkhold characters as well. So even if he still has partial barrier up, you're going to go over that limit of 30%, potentially up to 60% barrier on him. And with that kind of health pool, you are talking some insane stuff with that barrier. Now, Dash Strike, this is another really, really good T4. 200% piercing on each of the attacks, but also ignores defense up. This is something similar to what we see with Ultron's ultimate, where like his ultimate basically ignores or gets 100% bonus damage against characters with defense up. And I kind of like these abilities that ignore defense up or get bonus damage against characters with defense up. So it's been a while since we've seen something like this. We get it here now. Piercing is great, but piercing doesn't ignore defense up. Piercing is always, defense up is minus 50% damage reduction. So you are always going to get a damage reduction if you're going to using piercing against someone with defense up. If they have a huge boost in armor, though, piercing completely ignores that. Doesn't ignore the defense up buff. And then here on the basic, This is one that if you're going to be running Striker, I could see the potential of getting this T4 on the basic, because it goes from clearing 1 negative effect from the 2 most injured allies or self to clear 1 negative effect from all Darkhold allies. It's going to be a few turns before you get to that basic anyways. You're using that ultimate, using the special those first couple of turns. And then you've got really long cooldowns. Like, for instance, his ultimate's a 10-turn cooldown. His special is a 7-turn cooldown. You're going to have a long time before you are using those abilities again. So you're going to get a lot of the basic out here. The question is how long are these fights going to go? And if it's not going to be a very long fight, I can't really see the need to get this basic T4. Like, that passive T4 should be your #1 priority for Wong. And then start working on your Portal Barrage, which is your ultimate, then Dash Strike is your special. Like, those 3 I can definitely do as T4s on Wong. This one is more wait and see. Let's see how this team does. And it's very hard to talk about, like, how good or bad Wong is. I know some people have been saying, like, Wong's not that good. It's difficult because this guy works really well when paired up with the entire Darkhold team. He's not a standalone character like Strange Supreme, like Scarlet Witch. This is one that's very reliant on the Darkhold team, and without Morgan and Agatha as well, like, especially without Morgan, it's very difficult to say whether or not this character is good or bad. I think he's got great potential with the Darkhold team, but he is not going to be one you're going to put, like, he's not one you're probably going to use outside of the Darkhold team. Like, that reliance on here, like the defense up, the armor, everything here, and like the attack out of turn of attacking him or a Darkhold ally, like, he's very reliant on the Darkhold team to really reach his full potential. So, you know, we'll see how things go, but, you know, in my opinion, Wong looks to be pretty strong for the Darkhold team. Very beefy tank, really a nice target for Red Stars. I still think, like, Strange Supreme and Morgan should be your top 2 priorities for Red Stars, and Wong should probably be down towards the lower end, just because, like, his damage is nice, but yeah, I think still, like, probably, like, last or second to last in terms of your Red Star priority. Not to say that they're bad, it's just the other characters are better. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys have questions about Wong so far? Anything you think I didn't cover in this? I know some people are probably going to ask about, you know, while I'm thinking about, people are probably going to ask about Fortifier. I really don't like it because we're already getting a lot of barrier with this team as it is. So I don't think the barrier is really going to do much as it is. Like, I believe it's Strange Supreme that is giving barrier on the passive. Yeah, bury that character for the character's max health. So, yeah, like, you're gonna get a lot of barrier with this team between Wong and Strange Supreme. I'm not really thinking Fortifier is gonna work well for him. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Again, if you guys have enjoyed this video or found it helpful or informative, make sure that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.